Hello, and welcome, YouTube friends. This is kind of a Friday update about some news that's been circling around for a few days, and I wanted to talk about the upcoming executive order that is going to be coming. We think in the next few weeks. So let me see here. So we want to update everybody about this particular order and what's going to happen. So those of you that are joining us live, welcome. Let me know where you're from, where you're joining from, and we're going to talk about potentially who is going to be impacted. For what we know from the draft executive order, we're going to talk about more or less when we think this order is going to be implemented, and I'm going to explain what needs to happen right now, what you should do right now in preparation of these news. And again, once we know more, we're going to be able to update all of you guys. Let me see here. Here we go. Welcome. All right, so before we go further into the news, there's a bunch of you here. Welcome. Appreciate all of you. If you're here for the first time and you see this live, first time on my channel, make sure you subscribe, click that bell to be notified. We know I produce videos every single week, so make sure you click that bell and subscribe. Also, give us a big like on the video. Make sure the YouTube is going to be able to show this video to everybody who is watching. So my name is Jacob Sapochnick, and those of you that know me, subscribers of our channel, I wanted to thank you once again for always coming back every single time I have a video. We have a law firm here in San Diego. We represent clients in all 50 states, and we stay up to date to the news, and we provide those news to you guys as soon as we get them. So let's talk about this upcoming executive order. So this is basically, there's been a draft leaked, and if you remember, in the executive order from April, there was also a draft, some sort of a rumor that was, from the tweet. The final order was very different. If you remember, the first order, we thought they're going to ban all immigration. And then when the order came out, we realized they broke it down to specific groups, and it wasn't as bad. In this particular order, the one that we're going to be talking about today, that is going to come up, the particular issue is putting restrictions on H-1Bs, restrictions on L visas, restrictions on J visas, H-2Bs, and maybe a few more temporary visas. And so the way it works right now, the way this is structured, and again, we don't know, it may change in the final version when we get it. This is only what we know based on the rumors and the leaked order. So it's going to essentially ban people that are coming in to the U.S. that had their H-1Bs and J-1 visas approved, petitions approved, but they don't have a visa yet in their passports. So there may be a hold on these people from being able to get their visas. There also may be a hold on people that actually have their visas from coming into the U.S. And therefore, I'm going to talk about what needs to happen immediately for people that are in those categories. I have a few notes here that we also know that based on what was leaked is that there may be restrictions on the optional practical training program, the OPT, specifically on the STEM. So as you know, when an international student is currently in school, they are able to get a 1-year OPT to work in the US. And then if you are in science, technology, and math, you have an additional 2 years. So one of the things that were discussed is that they may be canceling completely the STEM OPT. which is going to be devastating for a lot of the students that are currently in the U.S. in the science, in the much needed professions, and they're not able to get their H-1B visas. Canceling the STEM OPT is going to be devastating. So that's one thing. So what we know about this particular proposed rule is that it will potentially impact people that have not received their visas yet. So they're back home right now. They cannot come back because of COVID. They're waiting for their interview, but embassies are closed, right? So they're not able to get their visa stamping. There may be a ban for a few months from those people to come in, but also people that already have their visas, but they're not yet in the U.S. We recommend, if you have an H, a J, an F, an H2B, to come back to the U.S. as soon as possible. I know that the borders are closed for the moment and it's not easy to come back, but as soon as you are able to come back, try to come back, because we think that this particular order is going to be implemented probably at the end of June, so maybe in about a week or so, or 2 weeks. So it's important to try to make an effort to enter the U.S. if you can. We don't think that this order is going to impact people that are in the U.S. right now. So if you're going through an extension, or if you're going through a change of employer, from a J1 to an H1B or H1B extension, we don't think that those are going to be impacted. Once again, just like in the previous order, what we thought, and I did a video before the order was actually released. If you remember the night when Trump, and I know you guys have a lot of comments, make sure you post your comments in this video, and I will be able to answer those comments even after the live stream. Also, if you guys interested to get some more updates, in a more private setting, there is a link to our private Facebook group in the description of this video. So you'll be able to join our private Facebook group, and then we can discuss this in a more private setting. If you have questions specifically to your case, you are able to discuss this in the group as well. And what I'm going to do is I will post... I'll post here our phone number right here. You can text this number, 619-569-1768, if you have specific pressing questions that are not able to be answered publicly, because information I provide here is public. You can text to this number, and we can set up a consultation to discuss about your particular case. If you're stuck overseas, if you're waiting for a visa interview, if you're worried about the consulate being open, if we are trying to plan what's going to happen when the executive order is going to pass, make sure you text this number, and we'll be able to set up a consultation to discuss. Now, the additional proposals that we heard in this order are going to impact H-1B visas. They may tighten the requirements for specialty occupation. As you know, there's a lot of requests for evidence right now, more than before. So some of these executive order changes may impact the way they look at specialty occupation, and also increase the fees for H-1B petitions up to $20,000 in some cases, which sounds crazy, but that was part of the language in the draft. So it is really important to it is very important that if you are an employer and you have an employee that is overseas right now, for whatever reason, vacation, or trying to get for visa stamping, try to come back to the United States as soon as possible. We also send an email to our mailing list. So if you're not part of a mailing list, make sure you subscribe to that as well. It's on our website. We send a mailing list, and I posted it also in the Facebook group, about the immediate return of people on H, J, F status to come back to the United States before the order is in effect. Because if you remember, in the previous order, the order took effect literally within 24 hours. And I think that this is going to happen the same in this case. So based on the draft that was leaked, people that are currently pending extensions, change of status, renewals, we don't think that they are going to be impacted by this order, as long as they're in the U.S. and their petitions were already filed. Now, the problem is that with this order and the previous orders is that the administration is going to try to also increase their power as to how they will be able to implement some of these laws and make them effective in a more immediate way. And so that's another thing that we may see in this order, the immediacy of the restrictions and how fast they can be impacted. If you recall, in the previous order, they said they're going to review non-immigrant visas in 30 days. That hasn't happened, in the previous order. But we think that with this new executive order, they probably will combine what they promised they're going to do in the previous order, and so they will immediately start, looking at those petitions, potentially banning OPT, making changes to the H-1B process, maybe stopping the ability for employers to be able to port employees. But so far, there's not too much information. But what we do know is that it's happening. It's coming. It may happen next week, most likely by the end of June. So, in addition to trying to come back to the U.S., if you're an employer, if you're somebody who's going to be impacted by this, it is really important for you guys to write to your congressman. It is really important to make to make some noise about this, to make sure that this is something that we're not going to stand for. It is something that's bad for the economy. It's bad for our country. It's bad for people that are, coming here, investing time to study and be part of be part of our economy. So this is something that we know. So let me take a few questions. Again, you guys continue to post your questions in the comments even after the video is going to be off, and make sure to subscribe to our channel if you're here for the first time. It is really important because we're going to be doing updates as soon as this order is going to become effective and I have a copy of it. I will make a video going through every single section of the order, just like we did with the first one. Let me take a couple of questions and see if we can. And let me know, guys, where you're from, where you logging in from. Let's see. Armand is saying any recommendation for family. I don't have any recommendations for family lawyer. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. You guys are from. We have a lot of questions here. I'm trying to see if any questions relating to this order. Will K1 visa will be affected? So again, this particular order is specifically for non-immigrant visas. The K1 visa sections of restrictions were applied in the previous order. K1 visas were not affected, so it's not going to impact K1 visas. Thank you guys for the nice comments. Juan is saying, do you think that L1A visas can be affected? So it will impact all visas, L1A visas, L1B visas, specifically for people that are currently outside of the U.S., waiting for visa appointments, and are going to be outside of the U.S. at the time where the order is going to be signed into law. So once again, this is a quick update. Once we have more information, I promise I'm going to make another video and I'll update you, but I just want to kind of put it out there. Keep posting your comments below. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, and also join our private Facebook group so we can continue the discussion, and we'll try to kind of be more, post some more videos in there and have more discussion with you guys about how it's going to impact you personally, so you can ask your questions in a more safe way. And also make sure if you have questions, just text me on this number, 619-569-1768. So any questions, keep posting them in the comments of this video. The video is gonna stay on our page, and I look forward to engaging with you. I mean, I know it's not the best news possible, but it will happen, and we'll have to be prepared to deal with it. So make sure you come back to the U.S. as soon as possible, and work with your local representative to start protesting this, because this is not right. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining me. As always, I appreciate your support, and I will keep doing videos for you guys to keep you updated, informed, and empowered. We'll see you guys in our next video. Thank you so much.